Coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles now are the Atlanta Falcons, who desperately need a wide receiver outside of Drake London, interested in adding to that receiving core with a trade for Quez Watkins. Also, going to explain why Nakobe Dean can break out in his sophomore campaign coming up here in 2023. Before we begin, though, really curious here, taking a look at the analytics. I know people tune in from all across the world, but also of all age demographics as well. So what year did you become an Eagles fan? Let me know down in the comments section. For me, it was 1996. I was 4 years old, and a couple of things kind of pop out to me when I think back to that. My first Eagles jersey ever was a Ricky Watters jersey that I actually got from Kmart, and Ricky Watters that year in 1996, he was a big free agent acquisition from San Francisco, signing with Philadelphia. Eagles fans have always really loved running backs, and under Ray Rhodes that year with Rodney Peete as the team's starting quarterback, check out these numbers in the workload for Ricky Watters. 353 carries, more than 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 yards per carry. That's what stands out to me about the first year that I became an Eagles fan. So I'm typing 1996. You let me know the year down below, and we appreciate all of you for watching. With that, let's start today's Philadelphia Eagles now. All right, what's up? Welcome in. What's good? You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for being here with us and hope you're getting set to have a fantastic weekend. Today's show would not be possible if it wasn't for our friends at Roan. You know I love their commuter dress shirt as well as their commuter collection. And for the Bird Gang, the Fly Eagles Fly family, we have a great deal for you. It's 20% off site-wide if you go to roan.com/chatsports and enter the promo code ChatSports. Now, there are a couple of things that I really like about Roan, and when you canvas your wardrobe, let me ask you this question. Do you want nice dress shirts that actually fit you? Awesome quarter zips that look good? Polos with some really good styles, colors, but are also really comfortable? Shorts and dress pants that are durable, long-lasting, stretchy fabric as well? Stretchy fabric with their pants and their dress shirts. They also have wrinkle release technology to their products, so you don't even have to worry about going to the dry cleaner any longer. Odor-free technology, so you don't stink up the joint. Comfort and mobility as well as versatility. I have one word for you if you're looking for all of that. It's Roan. 20% off your order at roan.com/chatsports. Promo code ChatSports for that deal to apply. Let's begin today's show with the latest around Quez Watkins. He has been a popular name as far as trade rumors go around the National Football League for a couple of reasons. The Eagles wide receiver room is really deep, and some teams are looking for a burner to take the top off of the defense, and they're willing to take a chance on Quez Watkins, who has shown flashes with the Eagles. He's shown those flashes to other teams as well, and he does fulfill a need that other teams have on the roster that's a little bit more glaring than the Eagles. And does this signing of Olamide Zaccheaus signal the end of Quez Watkins' time in Philadelphia and make him somewhat expendable? For the Atlanta Falcons, that's been the team that's been mentioned here. Outside of Drake London, their wide receiving core is really weak. This offseason, they basically addressed it by signing former Eagles great Matt Collins, and that's about it. They have Kyle Pitts at tight end, who's kind of that tight end wide receiver hybrid, but that wide receiver room, it ain't great. It ain't deep by any measures. And if Philadelphia were to trade Quez Watkins, they would save about $2.7 million to maybe use that elsewhere or sign a different player instead that fulfills a larger need on this Eagles roster. Now, this comes from CBS Sports, and this is what CBS Sports had to say, that Watkins' speed did not match his production as a number 3 receiver behind A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith during that Eagles Super Bowl run. He has iffy hands, and that could convince hyperactive general manager Howie Roseman to offload him ahead of a contract year, saving an immediate $2.7 million. The other teams mentioned in this article here, it's the Los Angeles Chargers and it's the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if the Chargers have a massive need, but a vertical threat with Justin Herbert who can throw that long ball with efficiency, he'd be a good fit there. And then the Tennessee Titans, they have one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL. Heading into year 2, Treylon Burks is their number 1 option, and I kind of look at him as a Swiss Army knife. So that goes to show you that the Titans could use another wideout and maybe give up a mid to late round pick for Quez Watkins, allowing the Eagles to get that draft capital and also save some money. It's a little bit frustrating that Quez has failed to develop because the flashes have certainly been there. This guy in training camp is always somebody who's able to really flash without the pads because his speed really is elite. But he has trouble tracking the long ball, just like he did in that Super Bowl 57 loss late against the Chiefs. His consistency has certainly waned. And in year 2, 2021, you're like, 43 catches, 647 yards. Those are solid numbers right there. But anytime the Eagles really tried to go out of their way to include Quez in the offensive game plan, like against the Bears and against the Dallas Cowboys, I actually thought the Eagles offense took a step back. You'd think, okay, you can use him on bubble screens, jet sweeps, reverses, and have him run some of those vertical routes, but he failed to kind of show up in some of those moments. As for Zaccheaus, I just think he's the more proven player. He's done it. He's proven it. He's gone out there and shown that he could be a really good player in this league and a productive number 3 wide receiver. Outside of the aforementioned Drake London in 2022, I thought Zaccheaus had a good year, and he offers some of the same athletic attributes as a Quez Watkins. Now, the testing numbers and the 40-yard dash speed, not as fast as Quez, but Zaccheaus, when you watch the game film, plays a lot faster than what some of his testing and speed numbers do show. 40 catches, 533 yards for a wide receiver 3. That blows away the production that Quez Watkins had this past year. And Zaccheaus playing with A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, I think that allows him to get some open looks to exploit some mismatches against the opposing defense. Look ahead here. Take a guess. Will Quez Watkins be on the Eagles in 2023? Embrace debate. Let me know. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Let's round out the show with this. I love the Eagles' selection of Nakobe Dean because he kept falling down draft boards 2 years ago in the draft. I thought Howie Roseman got really good value there. I was happy that he finally put some value, put some stock, and used an asset on a linebacker because this is a team that's been bereft and empty of solid linebacker play. And while Nakobe Dean barely played as a rookie when a lot of people did expect him to because he looked pro-ready at Georgia, I do think he's in store for a big leap forward here in his sophomore campaign. Why? Well, he's going to get a lot more time because TJ Edwards, Kaiser White have departed the Eagles for bigger deals in free agency, but also I just believe in the player. I understand that the sample size in 2022 was very minimal. Not a lot to work with here. Only 20 coverage snaps, 17 run defense snaps. But when he was in, I had some concerns about his size or lack thereof. He looked a little bit small, but I do think that his lack of size is made up for with his instinctual ability to diagnose plays before they happen. Now, he only registered 4 solo tackles and 4 stops, and the Pro Football Focus grades obviously operating on a smaller sample size here, but overall Pro Football Focus grade of 78.7, run defense grade of 69.1, and a coverage grade of 75.8. This dude was a dog and a leader at Georgia. He had 0 missed tackles when he was on the field. Again, sparingly played. But with what he did at Georgia, I do think that some of this can translate to the National Football League. And when I saw him at Nolan Smith's pre-draft party, it looked as though he bulked up a little bit. He could certainly use that to add to his frame because sometimes blockers can take advantage of that lack of size for Nakobe Dean. But a smart, instinctual player, I'll take that over an athletic freak because sometimes that allows you to win. And if we could go back to those college stats there, Triz, that's a peak of what Nakobe Dean is able to do. 6 sacks, so he can play around the line of scrimmage. You can send him in on some blitz packages. 10.5 tackles for loss, so he can make plays behind the line of scrimmage. 72 tackles, so pretty solid coverage linebacker. And that's backed up by 2 interceptions and 6 pass breakups as well. The instinctual feeling for the game as that guy who might be wearing that green dot, playing that middle linebacker role, that's what you need. You need to be a smart, intellectual, very smart and heady player. And that's what Nakobe Dean is. And remember this quote from Albert Breer that we talked about back in April about what he had said about Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis and the Eagles' belief in both of them? He said the Eagles are really high on where Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean are going into their second years, and that could potentially work to help Jalen Carter with Philadelphia should he slide to the bottom of the number 10, and he slid to the Eagles. They moved up to number 9 to take him, so that rang true, as we talked about at the time. For one, as one executive who's worked with general manager Howie Roseman in the past put it, Howie loves going all in on certain programs, so if he has success with a couple of guys from one school, he can go overboard. And two, having Davis and Dean, in theory at least, would help Philly get Carter past the litany of issues he's had. Isn't that funny that literally all of that ended up happening? It all came to fruition. And we called it here on the show as well. I said, look, if Jalen Carter falls to the Eagles, they're going to move up to take him. And they're going to take him over Bijan Robinson, who did end up going at number 8, but also the familiarity that Jalen Carter will now have with all of his college teammates. Now you enter Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo into the equation as well. That was going to help too. But going back to Nakobe Dean, Eagles are high on him. I'm high on him too. I can't wait to see what he can do in year 2 in the NFL. Will he break out? I'm going to go ahead and submit my B for breakout. Do you think he's going to be a dud, though, because of that size being problematic? Type D for dud. Bird Gang, thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you all have a ballin' out weekend.